Shadow Demon, who might also provide you a break mechanic in this game. A lot of things seem favorable for Quest if they get the gold going into that late game.
Getting first blood would be nice. The blood grenade is not quite enough, but Amar does manage to snatch that first blood ever so barely. They trade out kills, but the bigger bounty going to Quest.
Makoto's not too sad about that, though. He actually got some decent gold off that exchange, whereas the first blood went to Omar.
Well, it is going to be 3 bounty runes, I think, for Quest as well.
That is pretty damn
Oh,
nice.
never mind.
No,
the Wolf is going to get there. I thought, oh, I guess that was Noob in position.
Yeah.
He's not going to go that deep. For
so overall, Makoto and Omar winning out in that exchange. I know I'd rather have Makoto than the gold on the bottom here. So honestly, if you're going to give up first blood, that's the way to do it. And it cost him a couple blood grenades as well, which, you know, those things are not cheap. If only we knew exactly how much gold was spent on them in any given game, it'd probably be very interesting.
It's impossible to know, Avery. I'm sorry.
Yeah, some things are just not capable here.
Some things are better left to mystery, you know?
Maybe, yeah. We'll see if this matchup mid goes better for Noob, because that first game was pretty rough for him.
Yeah, it was.
He got solo killed in the end. That's about as bad as it's going to get. Makoto had a very good start. It's one of the reasons that all those ancients that got put into Noob were a catch-up mechanic rather than an acceleration one, which is not really what Quest were looking for there. And then the BKB timing for him also didn't yield too much off the first 2 usages. That felt like a lot of the momentum that Quest were, if they were going to come back in this game and build it, it was around that, and just didn't happen. That starts in the lane here. So you had a practice round. Now you get a second attempt. Didn't get
Oh, tried to get him with the cookie mid-onslaught. That would have been cute. Doesn't work out, though.
Honestly, this doesn't look like it's going much better for Noob early on, as Makoto's winning the CS battle and the regen trade, with 4 creeps coming into him here. Should get all 4 if he's a Chad.
And he'll keep the creep wave on his side of the river as well, which will make things even more annoying for Noob, who has less room to work with.
This is really nice. So Makoto's going to pull ahead mid again, which might limit the rotations Noob can do. However, I guess Quest have a lot more solid of a lineup that can scale in his late game from the mid game than last time, where it was
nice body block
Banal answer. Yeah, and double melee off lane for Talon is not going to be fun down here, right?
Yeah.
So 2 melee against 2 range. One of them is a Terrorblade, who is just going to force you off these waves during the meta. It's a tough lane for Jabs. On top of that, Q on this clock likely isn't going to get a huge amount of ancient stacks going for him compared to something like a Mirana or a Shadow Demon would be able to do for the Tidehunter. So it's kind of just whatever Jabs is going to get off this lane is what he's going to get. You hope he gets to a fast Meteor Hammer and can create some tower pressure to gain some gold back here.
Yeah, I think that part is particularly important for their lineup, right? Maybe Jabs isn't as important in this game as he was in game 1, but I do think a fast Meteor Hammer, taking some early towers, and then just the fights that they choose to take are all very critical for Talon.
Here's a theory, though. I know you like your theories.
I think you like your theories, but go on.
It's very true. The carry Lycan versus the Terrorblade. You buy Manta on this hero, right?
Okay.
You dispel the reflection.
Yeah. Is that
Terrorblade no longer gets your barrel impulse?
Is that magically going to make this matchup winnable later on?
Yes.
Okay. That's cool.
I don't
Simple
know.
Manta.
I mean, who's ever seen this matchup, right? This is like one of the first times I feel like I've seen it played out from the universal change. It is interesting, though. Like, if you get to Echo, Manta, BKB, Abyssal or something, I could see Lycan maybe just going in and chomping down the TB in some of those fights. Okay, 5 or 6 slots, like if TB has Satanic, Butterfly, Scotty, whatever nonsense, yeah, you're probably not doing much, right? But for a lot of this game, the window for 23 to have large impact in the carry-on-carry interaction, or just running in and taking the fights for some of these cores, might be larger than we're giving it credit for.
Yeah, I mean, this Lycan, you should not underestimate how much power and scale this hero has, especially since it got turned into Universal. So it is scary. It's just unlikely that it's going to be as strong. Once again, they did this last game. The Beastmaster ran the board down the river to deny one of the water runes, and they claimed the other one. Nice combo here. Spear into arrow. It's going to claim the life. Volley gets off the tombstone, which will be farmed unless 23 can deny it. He does. Twice now, he's managed to get a big last hit underneath the pressure of 2 heroes trying to outdo him.
He also blocked the previous wave with a wolf, so it ended up pushing under the tower faster, which is some very interesting tech if that was intentional. I don't know if it was intentional or not. will end up resulting in a faster equilibrium exchange for him and get this lane back, which is what Talon want. Again, they have 4 melee heroes on the side lane, so whenever these lanes push up, it can be a bit dangerous to just sit up here. However, they're doing quite well. All 3 cores are finding farm in this early stage, better than I thought it was going to go for them, considering, you know, just how many melees they have against the ranges.
Oh, that is going to be so bad if he gets caught by Q here. Fortunately, Q is... did Noob forget that you can't pull the creep wave early on here? It seems like it. He's going to get a courier kill. And TP back to base. Oh my god, it's going to be so rough for him.
This is not much. This is a slower game than last time. He's basically just giving up on the lane. This is just giving Makoto a free game. I mean, it's so free he was looking for the D ward, but there's no obs here because Noob has been off the lane so much. He does have an obs on him, so he might give it away on top of everything else. And right now, Talon, they can pull 3 heroes top because the Tidehunter and the Snap are basically free farming. No pressure going into them. Decent chance for them to use this double melee support duo to maybe find some cheeky kills or just run it towards mid with this catapult wave on Makoto. That sounds like the better option here.
Gonna get behind him here. Will the Talon supports get here in time? Arrow lands. Try and burst him. Looks like they got him. And they're going to be able to pump the damage into Q as well, who with the cogs may not be able to protect himself against the ranged heroes. Omar strikes and gets a killing spree.
Very nice gank for Quest at the perfect time. You deny this 6-minute rune and the catapult push from Makoto, who was having a free lane, and both those supports from Talon rotated, got nothing, and even Q dies. That is how you get this Primal Beast back into fighting shape. And it's also interesting that we've seen more of this early disseminate on the Shadow Demon over extra stacks in like illusion or poison. We've even seen the 1-1-1 build a couple times.
Yep.
It did about 110 damage there off of the total gank. It's not too bad for a level 1 spell.
Yeah, honestly, it's not an insignificant amount of extra damage you get out of Disseminate, even when it's not bouncing damage to other heroes.
Yeah, it's definitely more burst in a situation like that than the extra poison, because you're only going to get up to maybe 3 poison there before you have to trigger it.
Oh, he's going to get the Wisdom Rune away. Q has to steal this one because otherwise Ollie, he's going to have his stolen away by Cowrie. He's going to die for it, but Q did manage to snatch away that Wisdom Rune, so they'll get the kill on the support who stole their Wisdom Rune, and their own support, he ends up dying as well. So, same situation on both sides here.
I guess that favors Quest a bit, as they had more cores on lane. Noob is getting some free space to pull this wave and cut now, and yeah, like last game, he's catching up pretty fast on his Primal. That's the upside of this hero. Even if the lane matchup's bad, it's pretty hard to stop the hero pulling, finding farm onto these neutral camps, and you can always make the quick rotations, which it's going to be bottom here. The hammer is going to work. There's another hammer coming for you, Jabs. It's about to crash into your skull.
Yeah. Okay, Ravage immediately going to be put to use here. Jabs values that, but if he loses his life still, no, he's going to be fine. The Anchor Smash level 2. Now the rotation from behind, this is what I was looking for. 23 trying to make his first shapeshift go to work here, but Malik is already counter-rotated and can protect heroes with the arena if need be.
20's going to commit.
He's going to go for it. Cowrie gets off the disruption. Bounce back by the cogs. Body blocked by his own illusion. Oh, the arena barely catches him. Cowrie playing along the edges here, and 23 can't get out. Stuck in this arena for a while. Will finally get away, but the shapeshift is now run out. He's going to be caught up by Noob. Kisses raining in. Jabs trying to stop these heroes. They need to land the kisses. The bump back there of another round of cogs, but the kisses don't land enough. Tombstone's going to be placed inside of the pit here. They fight for it. They go inside the pit to clear out the tombstone, but a cookie lands onto 2 of them with the meteor hammer denied by the arrow immediately. Jabs trying to stay alive. Asunder last second from here. TA2000. Oh, the spear plus damage from Omar. It's going to come out. They get that kill. Quest, they win this little skirmish in a big way.
That has to be one of the stranger 8-minute fights I've seen in Dota in recent memory, as Talon bring 5 heroes bottom, but they used the Ravage defensively early on, which I think really hurt him in the long run. Imagine you had Ravage at a later portion of this fight when your other cores are there, so you can commit in together. Just a little disjointed from Talon, and they pay a big price for it. That is a lot of levels to throw into Quest. I mean, look at this Mirana, man, level 6 off that. Omar just got the world given to him. His earn charges on top of almost the Vit booster going into this vessel. He's so damn rich off that fight. 6-0 start for the Mirana here. I feel like this has been his best hero of anything.
Yes.
He's been popping off on the Rubik and some of these other spellcasters, but damn, is his Mirana extremely solid. I don't think I've ever seen him out of a bad game on this hero, even in some of the lineups where they lack some of the setup. Putting it to work here, and now Quest are off to the races as that was your big Lycan rotation in the early game. Just resulted in nothing for 23. He's going to have to catch up now, and this is not the position you want the carry Lycan to be versus the Terrorblade, because the Terrorblade, he's going to pull ahead a bit faster on the map with these illusions, being able to out-farm you, and then he's going to use your strength against you, which means you need more Dispel items faster to reflect the reflection. Power Rune's also going into Noob's hands as a result of that fight. Arcane, not a bad one to pick up here, and they'll get a free tier 1 mid on top of it all.
I think that bottom fight is so bad because would you agree with me when I say that Talon, it's bad for them if, like it's pretty bad for them if they're using Ravage and Shapeshift and not giving anything for it? Like it's pretty bad, right? Because they're a tempo-based lineup. If they use those spells and lose the fight, it's pretty debilitating.
It's very rough. This is not the position they want to be in with this lineup, particularly in a fight that I think could have gone their way if it was a bit more of a jointed effort. Like, people were just spaced all over the place. Like I said, the Ravage didn't hit with anybody. No other cores were there yet. The Kisses were trying to hit stuff that wasn't stunned. You had a Tombstone go down at the end of the fight. They just cleaned it up instantly. Everything about that fight was just off for Talon, and that could have been a very game-deciding fight here as we go into the mid-game. Because now you're in a position where you're not even defending this tier 1 safe lane, and you have Ravage and Lycan form up. So this feels really bad that this is not a fight you're confident enough to take right now on Talon, because your spells are really good around these tier 1s, both offensively and defensively.
Mars running into Lycan here. Malik is just going to go for a simple TP way, not a problem.
Another Wolf form down that is not going to yield a huge amount for 23 here. Gonna have to fall back on some good old ancient farming, I guess. Jabs once again has been given the priority. Ato's done for Makoto. This is probably your best playmaking item for a long time. If you can see the heroes, as Moonlight Shadow is going to get Noob in very deep with this Arcane Rune.
Ollie's going to be spotted. Oh! Miscast on the disruption here. Ollie is still dead.
Yeah, a little warm-up disruption. You know, sometimes you got to make sure the spell's working. Nothing wrong with that. That was also the Arcane Pulverize, so it's up again in 10 if Noob
They want this kill. I think they have to Ravage for it, and even then, I don't think they communicated what they wanted out of that.
This game is just off for Talon right now. They need to resync it up, get a solid team fight going. They still have a lot of strength in their spells if they can line them all up. Right now, it is not lining up, and it looks pretty disoriented, as Quest cores are going to pull ahead if you're not fighting the team fights. Like, Terrorblade is massively out-farming your Lycan right now. And the other two cores from Quest are not far behind, as they can clear waves pretty damn fast, and they're both just rushing a BKB. So right now, your ults are good for finding the 5-on-5. If those BKBs come out for Quest, you're going to be in trouble, because then a lot of your damage just goes out the window. And these are the two of the highest strength gain cores in the game on the Primal and the Mars.
Yeah.
That is a lot of HP to fight through. I think only Tiny is in the top 3 with them, right?
Centaur's got to be higher than Mars, right?
Yeah, well, I don't count Centaur as a hero.
That, right. Fake hero, of course.
I mean, Centaur's not a hero.
I mean, look at Noob. He is pulling creeps in front of their tier 2 and farming their neutral camp that is very deep on Talon's side, and he has no fear of retaliation.
The only low cooldown threat is the Clockwork hook shot into Kisses. So if Kisses are on cooldown, then a lot of the Clockwork's aggressive potential also goes the wayside here. And it's been an extremely quiet game from Q. He's not found anything. He'll find a bottom that you can't hook here because leaps are up. He's 0-2-0, man. This is where Talon struggle, when their two playmakers having a rough game.
I mean, they're really going to try for this one. They have to chain up the Cookie and the Rod of Atos, and even then it's just barely enough. But they do manage to get it. A little bit of a, you know, that's a practice kill to sync up together your abilities. They still got that synergy.
They also denied the Wisdom Rune with the Wolf. Yeah. Very heads-up play by 23.
Nice.
These are the little things that can get you back in the game here. And it's going to be some space for the Wolf to farm up. But you need more of this if you're Talon. It's not enough. You need to keep finding these kills off the hookshot cooldown with the Atos. Snapfire and Clockwork continue to combine to create some action while your two other cores pick up some scale, and maybe you go in for an earlier Roche than Quest are ready for. I think that would be your ticket really back in this game, because right now those BKBs are coming out fast, man. They are just cruising to them.
Yeah, you kind of have to take that Roshan before the BKBs are up. Otherwise, I think Quest is going to have too big of a window to work with. Sure, maybe you, like Talon, have some sort of like super late game where, you know, Snapfire is a crazy hero at that point. But we saw from last game as well, Makoto didn't have that big farm priority, and we're seeing, you know, Jabs is taking the Ancients and stuff. I'm not convinced that Makoto's going to get to the GPK levels of late game Snapfire where he's carrying through a lot of the game. Okay, that's awkward.
I mean, wouldn't be a Talon game without a little jankiness. That's for sure.
Gotta go for the gank on Malik. They have him under vision right now.
He's
Should be able to land this hook shot and get the kill. BKB is done. Is he gonna get the kill on Q
You're
and
in
get
my
out?
cage, son.
He is.
That is perfect timing on the delivery there for Malik. His BKB just turns that gank around, and suddenly you're locked in his cage instead of him in yours. A lot of time wasted on that smoke move for Talon. I almost think they're at a point where you just gotta go into Roche or something. Force Quest into you where your big teamfight ults can maybe win you that engagement.
Yeah, especially with the BKB on cooldown for the Mars.
Okay. Another decent pick off on Omar. Normally I don't think these would be worth that much, but remember, he had a really good early game. He has Vessel done already. So that's a nice target to take off the map. And these Wolves continue to secure runes.
Not bad.
It's got to be a Roche soon for Talon. It just feels like how the game is going. It's not that slow. When you have some Gush, maybe you can get a Shredder point up here soon. Go in there with the Lycan, maybe a Flesh Golem. He'll die pretty fast, so I don't think it costs you too much. I guess there's a question of, like, does this first Aegis do anything for you? What are you going to do with it if you're Talon? Maybe not much, so maybe delaying it here makes more sense. Bots up for Makoto. Again, I like the bots combination with the Lycan here. I think it's something we've seen with the Snapfire Lycan a bunch. I think there's a reason Liquid are opening first two with both of these heroes. There's some nice little synergies with the Howl reducing some armor. Then you put in these Shredders in the late game. On top of the Wave Shove becomes significant with Lycan Shard and the Snapfire running around the map, clearing waves very fast, and then being able to bots to the fight.
Yeah, I mean, like, with a hero that has such a high base attack damage, Malik gonna be forced to use another BKB, and once again, a gank turns around. He's gonna get a kill on a support and then try and get out. Now Q is here, so this time around they can punish him perhaps. His Rap's gonna be put to use here with the kisses, and they will get that kill on Malik eventually. He's gonna be saved by the disruption for a little bit, but eventually run down. Noob, okay, hook shot goes out onto Cowrie. See if they can burst him down with the cookie arrow coming through. Doesn't land on anything. Pulverized though, grab the wolf and beats him to death. TA2000 as a free fight.
23 just gets pummeled here on the commitment. Maybe if he doesn't get grabbed in that pulverized, that fight looks a little better for Talon. They're still able to find the Mars. Suddenly their spells are connecting and it looks a lot more fluid for them. However, big TA2000 shows up and puts an end to the fun here. As Terrorblade has been farming, he's been a little quiet. Now he shows up, he had Mantha for that fight, and now he's already halfway to Scotty. That is not the hero you wanted to be giving these big kills away to. I can guarantee you that, as he gets the clock and the Lycan here. So much gold into the Terrorblade. It's going to ramp him really fast into this second item, which means Quest have a very, very solid chance of not only contesting the Roche, maybe just winning that outright, which would be huge to take it away from Talon here. This is kind of a team fight push lineup that's going to rely on those Aegises to propel them into the later portions of this game. You steal it away from the Lycan, steal it away from the Snapfire, you're going to feel really good on Quest.
23 going to be ganked with the shapeshift on cooldown. This is not good. They're going to TP in Jabs, but this damage comes way too quick and clean for Quest.
I mean, Jabs is just TPing to take his creeps. That's about all he's doing.
Doesn't look like that's your farm anymore, buddy. Don't worry.
Like, don't worry, 23. I'll make sure these creeps don't go to waste. Oh, thanks, man.
And immediately move to the other side of the map. Quest, even though they got to be feeling comfortable with the pace of the game, they're still trying to shut out Talon from different areas of the map.
Correct play. They're way stronger in these small fights, especially with the two BKB cores that pretty much guarantee you a turnaround at the worst.
Yeah.
So you can just spread the map here. There's not much threat on you. They have decent wards to look in the areas where they want to be killing, which is, you know, these 2 wards on the dire side on the upper of the map and in their jungle, and they have 1 at the bottom. So if you push out deep with this Lycan or Snap, they're going to smoke and kill you. And these types of pickoffs are just food.
Yep. Blink Dagger pickup immediately turns into a freebie on Ollie. Pulverizing Arrow is a guaranteed kill for most of this game.
Ravage back up, so time
The Rod of
for Talon
Atos,
right
another
back.
cookie usage. Oh, that is a little bit off the mark. 23.
Yeah.
Sent his wolf too far forward.
At least he'll block both camps here.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, a DD.
That is another very nice rune for Noob on this Primal Beast.
Scary.
And I really like how Quest are playing this map. Like, you look at where the kill squad is for them, it's in the jungle, invading Talon's areas, threatening individual supports, and then TA2000, he just shoves bottom and gets to farm all of this jungle back, the lane on top of it, and make a hero show from Talon bottom. The second that Tide shows bottom, all of a sudden Makoto's left alone mid.
The hook shot, a little bit off the mark because in part of the Rod of Atos.
That's
Maybe
just
for the
easy
best,
pickings.
though. They probably both would have died otherwise.
This is just really good map play from Quest. It's one of the things that sets these European teams apart. They pick and pry you, they make you show your cores in different areas, and then they instantly pounce. And the second that happens, your entire map collapses. Suddenly, it is a free-for-all to hunt whoever you want. Moonlight Shadow going to give you some extra catch capability here.
Ooh, that would have been a sick spear.
God damn.
Malik made a pretty good read. There was somebody hiding in this area. A spear lands there, would have not even pinning against a tree, just would have stopped the TP.
I mean, Ollie can't even get his own Wisdom Rune here. The scan's going to save his life, but will not earn him that XP as Omar takes it away.
Yeah, deny the other Wisdom Rune, but you know.
I mean, that's just a blind go. That's pretty damn close. Yeah, another deny. So, okay, you're taking XP away from Quest, but you're not gaining it on your own heroes.
No. They're still taking yours constantly.
And the support levels show the difference here. These are good supports to have the levels on for Quest. They have very impactful spells going into these late game fights.
Yeah, I
Another
think
group
that's the
up.
scary part. The Shadow Demon. Quest have played it quite a lot, and the impact that comes from Kaori late game is pretty immense.
It's good. This is a good game for break targets as well if you ever get to that Ags. Quick smoke for Talon. They have all their good ultis up. Want to use them here, either for a tier 1 or Roshan. It's got to be what's on the menu. Manta done for 23 will also help him commit in the fight, get rid of the
They
reflection.
somehow get past the Primal Beast.
And look at these wolves. These things do so much damage.
Yeah, they
He's
do.
dead to wolves Atos.
He's literally just going to die to that. He's going to try and
Flank's
delay it.
coming.
Disruption's going to go out. Noob trying to blink forward to catch up to the Snapfire. Slowed down by the Scotty, but an interception by Q. Good hook shot, but the supports are giving up their lives in order to make sure their cores can just get away from a fight. This is a high ground tombstone, and they still can't take it.
Don't feel like they have enough damage to punch through this Bulwark BKB Mars and the Scotty finished Terrorblade, man.
Malik is going to make sure the Q disruption, it'll be there.
That little self-dodge on the arrow.
Oh yeah, and they win a fight next to the Roshan pit. So
Yeah,
that
is-
Roshan that we were kind of imploring Talon to take for themselves.
They're killing Makoto.
Makoto has Cookie to play with though. A little bit off the mark.
Quest are really just, they're just all over the map taking everything they want right now. There's no way to find numbers advantage for Talon. It's something they're struggling with. Even in that fight where it starts on their terms, they have to back off, even with the high ground tombstone you mentioned. And now it's going to be a Roshan going into TA2000's pockets. Scotty was completed for that last fight. He's already level 15, so 300 HP Talon online. Suddenly the Terrorblade is 2700 HP with 2 lives. High ground is open for Quest if they really want to push this game. I don't know how fast it's necessary for them. You know, if I'm playing this game, I don't feel like I have to go high ground with his first Aegis, but hey, if you lose a fight near your base as Talon, it's going to disappear. So there's some extra pressure on you right now. You try and find any net worth on this map as Makoto almost dies. My God.
Jetpack immediately put to use by Q. But what is going to change about this game? I mean, Q is getting an impressively fast Aghanim Scepter for a game that they're down 10,000 net worth.
It's pretty nice. It is a lot of extra damage in the fight. It just has to be Snap. It has to be Makoto, right? You just have to scale into this game off the back of the Snapfire, punching people down with Gush and Hal minus armor.
Yeah.
You can make these supports disappear very quickly. Wolves start hitting them, you blink in, shredder somebody off the minus armor, they're just gone. And I think that's what Talon have to start playing for a bit. of course, the game is going to get rough for Japs here, as he found a lot of farm. He is their most farmed core, which is pretty impressive. Pulls out a halberd here, very nice. The issue is once these breaks start coming through, all of a sudden, are you frontlining with this Tide? Are you surviving in the fight? Ags is not a long way away for Noob here. And they'll just start in on it.
Curious high ground push, turn around Ravage with the kisses. Unfortunately, the meteor doesn't land. It would have been nice. Grab Ally's going to be able to pick up that Tide Hunter, save him from the aggression of Malik. Q, hook shot barely off in time, and he's going to jetpack away. But the Snapfire is left behind. The Pulverize goes to work from Noob. Malik is somehow still alive in this fest. He's not going to get out for sure, but it is concerning that Talon couldn't do the damage fast enough.
I guess they didn't lose that fight, technically.
I mean, they did trade an offlaner for a mid laner. The mid laner who, I mean, you just pointed out that Talon has to scale.
Yeah, but that was your Aegis high ground. Scotty meta push, right?
Yeah.
He defended it. I feel like that's a pretty good outcome for Talon. That cog ended up being very strange, but it ended up working kind of for Talon, because I think otherwise Makoto just dies faster.
It's not cog shame here.
Okay.
Well, 23, barely getting away. No, maybe not getting away. I thought he was going to run down. Oh, gets hit by the onslaught just in time. Disruption into arrow. Oh, the arrow didn't land. He's got a manta up in 2 seconds, but I think the purge has sealed his fate.
Little demonic purge with a vessel on top. Omar has charges for days. As the objectives continue to fall to this T2000 Terrorblade.
Man, look at Malik. He was so tanky in that last fight, and he's built damage. He has a Desolator.
I like the Deso. It's pretty nice here. I don't know if he needs much more utility. The fight's kind of going to be won or lost in the arena and the Ravage here.
Blink for blink for blink. Jabs, they'll catch him eventually here.
Little Sunder to heal himself up too. Why not? And they'll collect Ollie on the side as Malik is just 1v3.
So he's going to have to kill Q to get out because the hook shot is up. So he's not going to be able to get away from this one. Hook shot stalls him long enough for the kisses to land. He's going to need every single one of them to hit. And it's not going to all land.
He got stuck on the arena.
Yeah,
that feels pretty bad. That's a kill that you needed if you're Talon. I mean, that's a BKB Mars committing into 3 of your heroes, killing one and just walking it off. Getting away with murder, quite literally here, as he gets a Deso charge on top of it. Man, these BKBs have caused Talon problems this game. And it's just a function of that they were behind in the early game. Didn't have enough damage to punish these overextensions from Quest. If I dare even call them overextensions. And you're back into your base with the 4 heroes, only 23 out on the map right now, looking for a BKB so we can actually commit into these fights and start providing some of the damage that Talon desperately need right now. Scary lineup to scale into right now with all 3 of these cores. Ags is done for Noob, so the break also online to deal with the Tide Hunter here.
Oh, they're going to go for Malik while his BKB is on cooldown. This is a nice move. With the shapeshift activated, they're going to try and pump in the damage. Can they get there faster? Oh, the Rod of Atos was still up. Okay, Makoto held on to that one. Smart idea.
That's that Boss to the Wolf play that is very nice for Talon. They haven't been able to use it because they've kind of been constricted on their map.
Yeah.
Finally, when you get out, provides you an opportunity, and they saw...
Oh no, the hook shot! He went just dead center through the portal, thinking it was going to be fine. Omar does have 3 leaps and a 4 staff, so as soon as he's rid of that Rod of Atos and snare, he's away.
I'm actually kind of surprised he survived there, but yeah, I guess mobility too much for Talon to handle. Noob with a shield rune, that's why he is playing so aggressively right now. He'll take another wisdom rune away. Man, the XP difference in this game, 13 levels. They are getting these BKBs down. Also, that TP was longer than his duration.
He TP'd to the outpost.
Okay, a little dangerous there. I don't know whose token that is either.
Yeah, that was dropped by Bleed by the Primal Beast earlier.
Okay, so
in that camp.
I don't know if this move really worked out for Noob too well.
$16,000 net worth lead, 21-9. Quest cruising to a comeback in this series. looking very likely that they can make it a 1-1 series, which will be very interesting what Talon does in response to that. I'm already imagining that they're going to go for the better late game in Game 3. Because it's natural talent, and you're in a Game 3 playoff series, and you've lost this Game 2, which, you know, they tried to play a much more aggressive lineup and immediately got shut out of it, right? Like, there really wasn't a window of time that they had to operate with.
Sounds like a likely outcome. Should they lose this game, however, that is a big should. This game is not over yet.
And Talon, they've been known for some crazy late games, and again, do want to highlight that Lycan is a pretty crazy hero. Like, he does scale very well going late game. If we get to the point where we can get some like 25 talents for both him and the Snapfire, then
they're good ones.
Maybe they could beat out a Terrorblade.
God, that is a lot of wolves.
It's unlikely, but possible. I almost feel like he needs to pick up the shard just to like make more space on the map, you know? You don't want to buy it as a carry like it. But
yeah, he just can't afford it right now. You need the dispel items to be able to commit in the fight. Maelstrom finished for Mikoto as he pushes towards this Gleipnir. Does have an arcane rune. Like you said, biggest thing here for Talon is just getting XP out of this game to get to the talents. That is what gives them a chance in this late game. Right now, this fight looks very difficult.
Yeah, it's part of the game that they're probably farthest behind in. They're down lots of net worth, but they may be down even more in experience.
Jabs has a BKB to try and deal with some of these breaks and stuff, survive a bit longer. There's a Silver Edge on the Terrorblade as well here. So you have that and the Primal Ags to break this tide. You get stunned first and broken. Then you're going to have to rely on the Tombstone grab ally here to bail you out, which Ollie does have.
Oh, I think that spotted the Moonlight Shadow from Omar going off. So Talent, or maybe not, Jab seems to be unaware. They're going to be able to break.
Got the BKB.
Immediately pops BKB. Maybe it's okay. Hits a Ravage on 3. Meteor Hammer trying to chain the lockdown, but it doesn't quite work. And they have jumped into the arena. They jump into a Tombstone to try and stay alive, but Jabs, he walks through, but it's going to be run down.
Still alive.
Cookie actually able to keep him alive. Somehow this is kind of going okay for Talon. All they lost was the Undying. But then again, at the same time, they used a lot of spells and didn't get anything for themselves.
It's also another fight. 23 just has no impact.
Yeah.
What is this Lycan doing in this game, man? It just hasn't been able to commit at any point for a kill in these fights. And that is what feels bad for Talon, because like you said, that didn't even go that bad. Jabs with super fast reaction, gets his BKB Ravage off, kind of salvages that initiation. Unfortunately, there's no follow-up stun there.
It is going to be a later Roshan, so Quest, who are all hot and bothered to be able to take it, are finding, okay, our timing is off here. We got a little bit unlucky, guys. We won a team fight with meta, but we're not going to be able to immediately... Oh, the break already out on Jabs. Quest still want to take this fight without the meta. That's a curious play. Oh, the arrow somehow landed onto the Lycan in the back lines. But again, without meta, Quest are not super confident they can take this one. Jabs are going to jump forward, make sure they can't chase after the Lycan, who was perched up there and had a bunch of illusions on him.
I mean, both teams are missing so much of their team fight right here. It's almost like neither one wants to commit as they both posture for this Roshan. Full form is back up as well as Kisses, so the cooldowns are coming back for Talon a little faster than they are for Quest here. Meta's still gone for 60. So your BKBs will be back up on your two bruisers. I'm surprised TA2000 is not committed for this Roshan right now. They think the fight is still coming. They want to look for a big kill. Going in for the break
use
again.
TA2000 with his Silver Edge. Once again in melee form, gonna try and make the work. BKB goes off just in time from 23. Dodging the spear, but again, another shapeshift, another BKB that doesn't allow him to do anything offensively.
These rockets are wearing him down. Actually doing a significant amount of damage over time.
Yeah, it's working on it. Cowrie's the one who's actually
Cowrie's
half health from all this.
He's just dying to these. You're having to spend vessel charges to heal up against these rocket flares. And you did pick up the Lycan shard.
And the mid lane is always being pushed in by these wolves.
Yes, that's the one thing Talon have going for them. They are creating some lane pressure. The Lycan is theoretically farming some of these creeps on the other side of the map. And you've huddled Quest up in a position where they have not committed for Roshan until now. They will
he did buy the shard for himself.
Yep. This is TA2000 saying my meta's back up and I've had enough.
All right, they're going to make a move without the Lycan. I think they're just going for an Aegis steal. I have to imagine that's the only idea here.
It's got to be a steal. It's Jabs going in with Ravage trying to steal this Aegis away.
Oh, his timing might be right here.
It's very close.
Ravage goes out. Oh, right to dice, but TA2000 very smart.
Close.
He popped the BKB to stop the stun of the Ravage, immediately sundered Jab, so he instantly died. And so they will collect everything from the pit, I believe, and they get 2 kills out of it.
That was so close to being clutch there for Talon. A crazy good angle from Jabs. It's not easy to get in that pit while you're still smoked. And the timing was pretty much perfect. There's just not much else you can do, right? I don't think he could have got closer there.
Yeah, because Cowrie was smartly positioned to break smokes on the other side.
Wasn't ready for that play. You got to be with the rocket flares coming in. You pretty much have to just BKB there for TA2000. So all the small things done correctly will yield an Aegis onto this Terrorblade, who is absolutely massive right now. And wants to end this game almost level 20 on top of it.
They're having a hard time fighting through these illusions, let alone the actual Terrorblade. Cowrie trying to go for the Demonic Purge on the shielded up Makoto. Disruption illusions, Terrorblade illusions. A lot of ways to quickly chip away at this tier 3 tower, and it's going to force a response from Talon. It could be a closing team fight. Immediately a BKB goes out, Pulverize trying to grab him. The onslaught through the cogs here. Noob, he's going to get some decent damage out from the Aghanim Scepter. Not enough to kill anybody. Oh, Malik actually jumping back into that one with TA2000 using the Thunder on Jabs, ringing him low. The BKB goes off. Q jetpacking himself into a wall. Makoto tried to stay alive off the tombstone, but couldn't make it out. 23, meanwhile, is the only healthy member. He's going for Noob right now, but the onslaught is going to start charging him away, and 23 cannot pursue. They are just hoping that they can keep this tier 3 alive, but with Makoto gone, I believe TA2000 is just going to keep this pressure on.
He's just claiming souls right now. Even the Shadow Demon disrupted.
Oh, and they're going to catch 23 as well.
Doing work.
Disruption, arrow, spear.
No save in sight if your Undying's not there with a tombstone. Even then, I don't know if you're bailing him out into a situation he wants to be in, as Satanics are online for Quest. One on the Terrorblade, one on the Mars. This might just be a throne push right here. They got a lot out of that high ground fight before all the spells were online for Talon. They're still waiting for Ravage cooldown here. 10 seconds for Jabs. Got one last hurrah, it feels like. Top wave is pushing in with double catapult, double wolf for Talon. So if they manage to stall this fight or defend, they might actually trade racks.
Oh, another Sunder that kills Jabs.
That is absolutely brutal here. TA2000 has had his number in these fights. It'll prompt the Jabs buyback. Still has Ravage up, no BKB, and your Lycan still out for 20.
Okay, hook shot. They're going to go for it. Cogs pushing in. TA2000, seeing if they can kill him, take away his Aegis.
I think he wants to die at this point.
Yep.
And he'll take another
Malik is
two-man
going to be
arena.
able to get a nice arena on 2 as the Terrorblade revives here. Really going to be disarmed, though. Noob blinking in, grabbing Makoto. Makoto can't afford another death. Ravage going out. Tombstone save. Does manage to bail him out, but bailing out is a constant theme here for Talon. They may be able to survive through some of these engagements, but they've yet to be able to do any damage.
Big echo hit.
A Gleipnir on a Mirana. They are desperate for anything at this point. Meanwhile, the damage is always there. Malik, TA2000. They're both putting out in spades. 23 goes for a BKB TP out. A desperate call, a desperate time for Talon, but they have lost this game too. We are going to a 3rd game in this series as Quest. They prove what all that group stage hype was about. They bounced back beautifully in game 2.
Very solid draft from them. I think there were definitely some advantages there. This last pick, Mars, is just a beautiful pick. It pretty much prevents the Wolf from getting anything done in these fights. Almost this game just felt over off that bottom fight. Like that fight being so disjointed and costing Talon so much momentum in this game because they committed 3 cores and all of their ults to lose heroes. It's just way too big a swing for this type of lineup to recover from, especially when you don't have the carry matchup. Your Tidehunter is going to have to play into breaks that were messing with him later, as we saw. He's just getting broken and massively sundered off the start of the fight, using that clockwork flare damage against the Tidehunter in this situation. Okay, grab allies are there. I like the Ags on the clock. There's just no little kill threat in this game to slow these 3 cores down, and the 3 cores are outscaling.
Yeah, there's a cute idea there of Howl and Anchor Smash limiting the damage of the very high base attack damage of the Terrorblade.
Right.
But You can limit that damage all you want. You have to be able to put damage back out.
Yes,
and that is something that 23 Savage struggled the entire game.
I don't think this Talon lineup kills heroes unless they're very far ahead.
Yeah.
That's the downside of the Tidehunter pick. It was not that Timbersaw that got banned. It was not the Darkseer that could use the Terrorblade against him. They just struggled.
Struggle indeed, and that means we're going to go to a game 3. But first, we go back to the panel.
Thank you very much, Cap and SVG. We are going the distance to a third game. Quest was unstoppable in this game 2 of the series. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle for Talon after the draft completed, but I mean, Quest basically showed that they did not like losing that first game. They came back with a vengeance. I'm here with Faith-Bian, with Effie, and with Purge. Purge, this game was so dominant.
Yeah, it was really dominant. They got a really nice advantage. Omar had such a good early game. And then they kind of just transitioned this into the lineup that was supposed to be, I mean, they're playing against a lineup that was supposed to be strong early and fall off. So if they got a gold advantage, it just made it a lot simpler.
Yeah, Effie, I don't want to throw you under the bus completely, but you were giggling at times a little bit at the Lycan.
Don't do me like that, Cheever. I just think that this is one of the very bad draft by Talon. I said it already. The Tidehunter last pick really sucked. It well and truly sucked, and shifting this Lycan to carry made no sense. And the best bet that they have was to last pick some ranged carry. And yeah, they probably would have gotten Mars regardless because they had a Lycan, but it would have looked better than what they came up with. Like the first 2 shapeshift ganks did nothing at all because it's a carry Lycan. He doesn't have an enchanted creep running at supports under tower. You kind of just go in. He got disrupted. Mars TP'd in, arena'd him. He shapeshifted again. Mars TP'd out. I mean, I mentioned this already, but I didn't see any point during this draft that Talon would have been strong. There just wasn't any, so back to the drawing board for game 3.
Yeah, a lot to think about. This game 2 was not it for Talon, Faith. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this result is no surprise. We all can see from draft. I think Lycan is too hard to against Terrorblade. And actually they played well, like Lycan destroyed the runes, and they try to play well, but the draft is so hard. Also, I think this Undying and Tide's pick is a little bit confused. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not great for Talon, but it's okay because when we can blame something on the draft, it's very easy to recover from that. So we'll see what they come up with in game number 3. And they have already shown that they can do in that first game, but this game, it was Quest that stepped it up. Purge, they definitely adapted and they went for a way more comfortable draft compared to game number 1.
They did. I think they pretty consistently ensure that they have lots of stuns and lots of ways to get kills, which is one thing that's pretty consistent about them. You don't really see them like open like 3 heroes and you're like, oh, they've got no stuns. They're always ready to get kills somewhere, which is one thing that I really like about them.
Yeah, in particular with Omar's Marana, he has, of course, what is it, 100% win rate on that at the moment?
Yeah, out of 5 games, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I mean, that's why you chose him to be part of your STC play analysis for
That's
this
right,
one.
Cheever.
Yeah.
I would like to materialize this iPad. Omar played amazing. He didn't really stun that much the first couple of moments, but watch how many right clicks he gets for free. He's leaning against a melee hero. Melee heroes, they have to be faster to offset this, and Omar's just beating him up. They took 2 heroes to secure the Lotus here, and he's just constantly right clicking the Undying. Yeah, constantly. I mean, this has got to be, it's got to be like 15 right clicks or something for free that he gets. And all he has to do is buy a couple Iron Red branches to really up that damage. Even check this out. Ollie's like, okay, I'm a little damaged. I'm going to pop a salve. Omar spots it. He's like, nope. Cancels like 75% of a healing salve. Really just onto, oops, sorry, clip did not autoplay. There we go. And now, rather than, he almost kills that wolf. 23 Savage has to resummon it. He gets it low enough that allows Malik to even kill it. So 23 Savage is forced to lane without even having like 2 wolves the whole time. Just getting so much value. And here's Ollie breaking the clarity potion. Omar's baiting a little bit. Look at this. He's playing in melee range so Ollie gets these attacks in. But in reality, he was setting up for this kill. So that was another good thing Omar did. They didn't get the last hit on the cat or the tombstone, but still awesome. And then finally he leaves the lane, does an easy disruption arrow setup, which kills Snapfire. Noob was behind in level. Snapfire was 6 there. Noob is level 5, so this rotation is super, super important. And watch how efficient Omar is here. After getting that kill, he grabs the bounty rune. He TPs for the wisdom runes, contesting clock on in. Look at this. He does a stack to set this up. He doesn't get the wisdom rune, but who cares? He just got a bounty rune. Then he got a stack. Then he gets this kill. I don't even think I'm upset that he doesn't get it. And then there's that big fight bottom. His TP's coming off cooldown just now, so he TP's bottom, and he's basically just here for all of the important moments. He moves over, he secures the kill on the Lycan with the Starstorm. In a moment here, we're going to see Jabs re-engage, trying to protect the Undying, and watch what happens with the Meteor Hammer. That should be hitting. He interrupts that with his arrow, so no Meteor Hammer damage comes. And then his Urn just gets so much value. He finishes right before this fight. He used 2 Urn charges there, just got another 2 sets, which he kills Ollie with as well. So he had an immaculate early game. Really just super well played by Omar.
I mean, that's insane. I love watching that because there's all these moments that with the Mirana you can leap to make up for, you know, potential misstep, but the extra movement speed with the leap makes you get there in time, and with all these timings that you need to hit, I mean, you see the bounce rune, you see the experience rune, the stack, Mirana just gets there just at the right time, and he basically won all 3 lanes for his team almost. I mean, bottom lane maybe the least amount so, but...
He showed up for the fight.
He did show up for the
That was
fight.
good.
That's the most important thing. I know, Faith Behind, you've been really enjoying Purge's segments like this. What do you feel about Omar's Mirana? I mean, you knew it was top tier already. He already has won all of his games on it. Does this impress you even more with Omar's Mirana?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, during the live show, I didn't notice that much because we can't focus all the screen on him one person.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I learned so much from Purge Weatherman report.
Yeah, I think people are gonna try to intercept Omar from trying to do this, because that's, I mean, you can recreate that with other heroes as well, though Mirana obviously the easiest one because you can use that leap to your advantage that way. But yeah, we're gonna find out if he even gets his hand on his Mirana in the next game. Next game is around the corner, and there is a person in our broadcast that you haven't heard from all day. You can't hear from him now either, so that's unfortunate for you, but maybe we'll get some words in later. Of course, I'm talking about Purge. We've had so many player lounge, not Purge, sorry, Jenkins. Close enough.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Very different characteristic.
We've had so many player lounge, you know, introductions and things that I don't know where he's at, and I'm worried about him. Where has he gotten up to? But here you see, of course, Quest Esports preparing for game number 3, and they already showed in the game just now that they are able to come back from a loss in a high-pressure situation. There's $500,000 on the line, which is something that the players are not thinking about. But if you actively try to not think about something, sometimes you just end up thinking about that very thing, Effie. So it requires some mental fortitude there.
It does, for sure. But I think both teams played well today.
Yeah.
Game 1 was very close, and the Talon draft was really beautiful, and the Talon players feel very awake today. So I hope Talon isn't discouraged by this game too, and Quest should be feeling good after it too. Honestly, they should be feeling good after their game 1 performance as well. As far as Talon go, that draft did them 0 favors, but if they can draft solidly in game 3, then either team could take it, honestly.
And one of the big difference between drafts of game 1 and 2 was who had the overall last pick Purge. That's of course what set them up for the Beastmaster in the first game, which crushed it if you missed it. This game around, they were not the one with the overall last pick. How much did that hinder them, or did they already go wrong in the draft before that part? I
mean, the game 2 draft was certainly worse. And in both games, the team that got to pick last was in the upper hand. But I think what's been clear over the 2 games is that on average, Quest has just been playing better in both games, and Quest's draft on average has been better as well. So it's a big mountain to play against when you have both things offset like that, but all Talon needs is 1 more win. So if they just draft better or play better in this last game, they can pull out the win.
All they need is 1 more win for Talon. Same thing goes for Quest. So good draft goes a very long way in that 3rd and deciding game, which will come your way very soon. We'll take a quick break, but when we're back, deciding match between Talon and Quest. Stay tuned.
What player do I admire before I became Dota player myself? Okay, I mean, that answer is easy. I think I've done it every time. It's just Dendi from Navi. Like, he always used to be like my idol. Like, I've always looked up to him. He's been a mid player, of course. I had like one of the most outstanding personalities ever. So I think super good player, super nice personality, participates in everything and all the fun stuff and everything. There was like this Oppa Gangnam Style TI2, if you remember, or TI3 against Puppy, you know, like easily. Daniel, what is it? Daniel is shooting, I think? Yeah, that easily. Playing against Dandy for the first time was really special. It was actually on one of my first LANs. It was WESG, so this national tournament where you had to play 4 people from your nationality. And we played as Team Germany in the first round against Team Ukraine. That was like super, super fun. And I remember I wanted to just play Invoker against him. He played Juggernaut mid, like freaking random, and they just pushed high ground minute 12 and that's just ended it. But it was really, really fun. And then those guys came over for a handshake and I was like, holy shit, what just happened, you know? Like, we got smashed. They just went high ground, but it was super, super fun.
When I start playing Dota, I think the EG Sumail when they win the TI5. I like watching him when he plays Storm. His Storm is so OP that time in the international.
When I was starting my career, I was watching like every Miracle game, my favorite player, so it's only Miracle. I started like in 2014, I guess. Then I saw how Sumail won tournament, international, and I got excited. Yeah. And I wanted to play it too, professionally. Yeah, I guess it's Miracle, Shadow Fiend, Invoker, Storm. And Miracle was playing a lot of carries. It was really good. He playing 2 roles, like super good. Yeah, we're playing against Miracle in last major, but long time ago. It was my first major, Epicenter, something like this, and we played against them. But it was our first game in playoffs, and everyone was a bit scared, and so it was a bit hard to play against Aster, first game.
Quest versus Talon, game number 3 coming your way here at Riyadh Masters, and we're ready to break it all down, break the draft down that's coming your way in just a couple of seconds. We've seen both teams win a game. Game 1 was very competitive, back and forth.
Bye.